In today's video I'll show you underrated budget loadouts that will contain 2 weapon loadouts, armors that you can use that are recommended, and the meds that you can bring in. I hope you will enjoy the video. First weapon I'll show you today is the SKS. Why I've chosen it is because it's a cheap gun. It goes for around 15,000 rubles, just the gun. And the attachments you can put on is you can put on a short range scope or a long range scope. That can vary from 10 to 15,000 rubles. And you can put on an extended mag that holds 20 rounds. That costs 9,000 rubles. And that's all you really need. It's not that hard to control, as I'll show you here. And here's the SKS. It's not as accurate, but it's on semi always, so it doesn't have to look like this if you're spamming with it. And the ammunition is also pretty cheap. The PS ammo can penetrate level 3 armors and sometimes level 4 armors, but it has a harder time. And I would recommend it in more early wipe, but in mid wipe you can still use it. The BP ammo is also a lot better. It can penetrate level 4 armors with ease, but it has a harder time against level 5 armors, but it's still doable. And let's get into the other one. So the second gun I'll be showing you is the AKS-74N. Just so you know, the one I've built right now goes for around 130,000, and I'm not including ammunition, so you know that might be a bit expensive. But if anything, you can just change some of the attachment I'm using, just to keep that in mind. But the one I've built is really good. It doesn't really have a lot of recoil, so it's up to you if you think that it's worth spending that amount of money, or if because if anything, you can just change the muzzle and the stock that you're using, if anything. Or if you want to do more upgrades on it, you can put on a better pistol grip, just so you know, before we get into the build of the gun. The attachments you'll be needing are these I have here. So we can start off with putting a mag on and our pistol grip. You can have a better one, or you can have this one, it depends. Then we're going to put on a AK Bastion dust cover, and we can put on any scope we want, and it's up to you, your budget, what you can afford, stuff like that. And then for the muzzle brake, I've picked the AK-74PWS. Why is because it has a minus 60% recoil and some of this other stuff here, as you can see. So that's why I chose that. Of course you can have something else that's a bit more cheaper, but I do recommend that if you can put a little bit more money into the build. After that we can put on our stock, which gives this gun minus 37 recoil and 9 ergonomics. And with that, the stock is the AK Zenith PT1, and we also need the AKS-74 Zenith PT lock, so we can put it on there. After that, we're going to put on an AK Strike Industries handguard, and with that handguard we can put on a SIG vertical force grip. So the ammo you want to use for the AK-47N is PP ammo, BT or BP. BT and BP are more expensive than the BT. I'll have a picture here that shows you all of the penetration with all of the ammunitions. So it's up to you, but PP and below is most usually used for early wipe, and above to Eagle Nick is mid wipe, and above Eagle Nick is late wipe, I would say. So it's up to you for your budget, but if because we're doing a budget guide here, I would recommend the PP or BT, depending on how much money you have. Yo, if you made it this far into the video, maybe you want to subscribe. I don't know. It's up to you. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Maybe like the video. It's on the table. But yeah, I really appreciate you watching this far. Here I'll showcase you how the recoil of guns work. So as we can see, here are the semi shots with AK, and here are some of the lines when I'm using full auto, and you can see that it's pretty accurate. So the armor we'll be using is the 6B3TM armored rig. It's a class 4 armor, so it will withstand a lot of ammunitions. So that's why I would recommend it. You could go with other level 4 armors, but the armor I'm suggesting is for the most part pretty cheap. You can buy it from Ragman for 55k, and armor wise you could just bring a cheap rig with you. So for headsets, it's just up to your preference what you like to use, I would say. All of the headsets are, they all go for, you know, their own prices. Some might go for 20k, some might go for 60 up to 60k, or even more in some cases. But it's just up to preference what you would want to wear. So just use what you want. Okay, let's get into helmets. I would recommend the Soviet World War II helmet. It's an armor class 3 armor, and for some goddamn reasons you can't, if you're shooting someone and they have it on them, it will just deflect. Not really, but it just feels like it. So it's either that or the 6B47 Rantic or helmet, I suppose you call it, which is also a good option, I think. The price difference is that the World War II helmet goes for 22k, and the 6B47 goes for 34k. So, you know, it's up to you. Just remember that the World War II helmet won't be comparable with some of the headsets, so you keep that in mind. I know it's compatible with the GSSH. It's the one on the screen right now, so you can use that if you would like to. It's compatible, so I know that. Let's get into meds that you can use. I would recommend that you bring cheese, is what we call it, but the AI2 medkit, it has 100 HP that you can use, but if you want to bring a bit more health, you could consider the car first aid kit or the Saleva, but those are a lot more expensive, so you know. So it's up to you, or you can just bring multiple cheese if you want. Options for bandages or army bandage or a aspect bandage. I would recommend the army bandage because there are 2 usages on it, and the price difference is like 100 rubles, so it makes sense to bring the army bandage because it has 2 usages, and the other one has 1. For controlling your heavy bleeds, it's either you bring a S-Mark Tornict. I'm sorry, I'm not good with some of these names. You can use that, a cat, I think it's called. Or you could bring a hemostat that you could put in your container. And for broken limbs, you could use the immobilizing splint or the aluminum splint. The differences are that the aluminum splint has 5 usages and the immobilizing splint has 1 usage, so it's up to you to figure out which one is better. But if you're going to put the splint in your container, you're going to want to bring the aluminum splint, otherwise you can bring the immobilizing splint. And for the last part is surgical kits that you use for blacked out limbs. There is the CMS surgical kit and the survivalist, the survive 12 field surgical kit. The differences are that the survive 12 field surgical kit is it has more usages, 10 more. It takes longer to use, but it heals up your limbs a lot more than the CMS surgical kit, and the CMS kit is easier to fit in your secured container, so that's just up to you. So thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a nice day.